Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So we were hit with pretty tragic news today. Originally, yesterday, 2 days ago. Just learned about it now. Unfortunately, Governor JODI RELL, we have learned, former governor of Connecticut, the Rhino, liberal Republican governor of Connecticut, JODI RELL, has died. She honestly was pretty young. She was only 78, and I don't know if she had some sort of health issue, but she died due to this short illness, which I find it very strange. But we gotta know, JODI RELL has become an icon in all Connecticut. And there's no doubt about it, but that Connecticut is grieving. But who is JODI RELL? Now, JODI RELL, she came into the wake after her governor of law, we need to acknowledge she was the lieutenant governor before she took power unexpectedly when the said governor, her, of course, boss, Governor John G. Rowland, was caught right-handed and convicted. It says here on December 23rd, 2004, Rowland pleaded guilty to depriving the public of honest service. Rowland was sentenced on March 18th, 2005, in New Haven, Connecticut, to 1 year and 1 day in prison, 4 months of house arrest, 3 years of probation, community service. On April the 1st, 2005, he entered the Federal Correctional Institution of Loretto in, of course, Pennsylvania. And yes, this is where it is. It's in Allegheny Township, right in the, of course, Cambria County, Pennsylvania. His federal inmate number was 156-2323014. Yes, obviously, he's a convicted felon. He's done. Trump's a convicted felon. Well, this guy, he's also a Rhino. He is very liberal. He's a moderate. That's why he chose, of course, Madam Rell, whatever his name is, Rell, to be his running mate, because she correlates with his views. They're together when it comes to the political views. They support abortion, gay marriage, gun control. They're very much Democrats. And to remember, though, Connecticut is not so much of a blue state during this time. I mean, it was still considered to be a battleground state by most of the country in 2002. I mean, this is Mr. Rell's electoral history. We're not looking at Mr. Rell's electoral history. Mr. Rowland's electoral history. Mr. Rowland is alive and well, according to our results here. He's pretty alive and well. Couldn't be any better. But unfortunately, his running mate, who became the future governor after John G. Rowland resigned due to these criminal conviction cases, has unfortunately died. And we're going to kind of look at her electoral history, because she rose into the prominence really quickly. And together, she was second. The Republican Party was already in shambles in Connecticut after the governor, who, of course, represented the Republican Party, just tore it all apart altogether with his conviction. But right when JODI RELL made history of being the second female governor after Ella Grasso, apparently identity politics prevailed and the GOP regained momentum. And not to mention, JODI RELL, she was admired by both Democrats and Republicans, mainly because of her issues. Governor Rell supported abortion rights, and she was supported by the Republican Pro-Choice Coalition and the Wish List and Abortion Rights Republican, PAC. She supported abortion rights, embryonic stem cell research during her tenure as governor. Education and policy. she was very left-wing because of, she supported a lawsuit in response to the No Child Left Behind, which I want to believe that's a Republican. It was promoted by the Bush presidency, government spending, did some liberal stuff in regards to that. In July 2006, the Connecticut legislature overrode a veto by Rell to pass SUSTI Net, the first significant public option healthcare reform legislation in the nation. LGBT rights, of course, on April 20th, 2005, Rell signed into a bill that made Connecticut the first state to adopt civil unions for same-sex couples without being directed to do so by court. So Connecticut, first state to sign into law without court. And that's thanks to JODI Rell. So honestly, I can tell you, I already don't like her. I don't like her at all. She is a rhino, and I can guarantee you she voted for Kamala Harris. She is a Democrat supporter. She is absolutely a rhino. And her electoral history is only in 2006. She didn't run for re-election, but her bipartisanship, I wouldn't say bipartisanship, because she's literally a walking liberal. A liberal, along with, of course, being in a conservative Republican Party. Republicans voted for her because she's a Republican. And really, the Republican Party in Connecticut was very moderate. There's Lowell Weicker, who built up the Connecticut GOP as this more tolerant to all ideologies sort of political party. But yes, you'll see this is the only election it seems that JODI Rell ran in. And of course, in the midst of a conviction, you would think, look at 2002. JODI Rell even improved of John G. Rowland's performance in 2002. And of course, looking at this here, you would think the GOP would be just in shambles because of course, the conviction. Well, let's see what this top article has to say about it. The 2006 Connecticut gubernatorial election occurred on November 7th, 2006. Incumbent Republican JODI Rell became governor when John G. Rowland resigned on corruption charges in 2004. Well, you would think Rell, of course, being associated with, of course, the convicted felon in this case, would also be unpopular, but instead, Rell had an approval rating of 70% as of October 19th, 2006. And polls showed her leading the Democratic nominee, the New Haven mayor, John DeStefano, by a near 30-point margin. As expected, she won the election to a full term in a landslide. DeStefano defeated Stamford mayor Daniel Malloy in the Connecticut Democratic gubernatorial primary on August 8th. Of course, as of 2024, this is the last time a Republican and woman was elected governor of Connecticut, and the last time a gubernatorial candidate won every county in the state to date. So, interestingly enough, this is her electoral history. You'll see she improved everywhere, even in Fairfield County, formerly a Republican stronghold, a Rockefeller Republican stronghold specifically, had no problem voting for her over 60%. You got Hartfield County is still struggling, but it handingly went to her regardless. You'll see every poll has, of course, Rell defeating DeStefano by a lot. And you would think Connecticut was so voted for Democrats in 4 consecutive elections so far. You would think, oh, this would be a blue state. It would be Democrats. And besides, I mean, convicted felon, right? What's going on here? JODI Rell should be falling apart because she was a part of that administration. But no, I don't know what happened. It could be because she, identity politics wise, or people just liked Rell and her positions. But anyway, you'll see here, she won in a landslide, and after she refuses to run a second term, the said Democrats barely won in 2010. Keep in mind, this guy only Danielle Malloy, who ran against Malloy. Yeah, he ran it. Daniel Malloy. He ended up. This is the convention. Daniel Malloy won the convention, but in the primary, John DeStefano managed to defeat the future governor. But anyway, what do you guys think? I want to once again express my grievances to the former governor. Don't really like her policies. Not a fan of hers at all. But I am very remorseful towards her death, and I grieve for her loss and praying for her family during this difficult time. Unexpected death. I mean, a short illness resulting to a death that is ultimately very tragic. She was pretty young, 78. She should have had a couple more years ahead of her. So I was very shocked to see this tragic news. But anyway, what do you guys think in regards to our video? Let me know down below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.